Hey guys, Gamer of Gamers here. So this was mere moments after I ended the stream where I had managed to collect every Scriber's Quill in Legend of Spyro the Eternal Night. I just realized I completely forgot to show off the art gallery that you complete once you find every Scriber's Quill in the game. So there's a total of 200 pictures. I believe you unlock like 5 every time you pick up a Scriber's Quill. Yeah, 5. So I had completely forgotten to show this off in the stream, so I'm just going to quick record this separate video here just to show off the art gallery. Because I worked hard for this, so I can't believe I forgot to look at the completion reward. It's because it's in the extras menu, that's why. Alright, so we got pictures of Spyro to start off. And then pictures of Sparks. We have like the 2D art, I guess. Not sure when those were shown. And then of course we've got the in-game sprites. And then I guess like box art drawings as well. Because I know some of these drawings were used in like, you know, the GBA version of these games. And who knows, maybe also the DS versions. Well, then again, no, it was Amaze Entertainment that made Eternal Night for GBA and the DS versions of the trilogy. Well, outside of Dawn of the Dragon, where they had an entirely different team. But it seems we get to see concept art for not just, for both A New Beginning and Eternal Night here. So we've got quite a bit of concept art to look at here. Which does look pretty cool, can't deny that. Though I think I only ever collected enough Scriber's Quills to see like half the art gallery. So I'm glad that now that I've collected them all, I get to see the entire art gallery. Like, this is my first time getting to see the entire art gallery. And oh boy, there's a lot here to check out, that's for sure. Like here, ooh, that's a cool shot of the Ice King. We've got, what is it? Oh, that's supposed to be like the, yeah, like this area with the jungle stuff. That's where the, those like animal dudes are at. But yeah, I cannot believe I forgot to show this off on the stream. Oh yeah, there's that like, oh no, those are just the Guardians. Those aren't the actual... Oh, they had the idea for having a dog-like enemy? Did they not get to finish that? Okay, there's the, like, god that they worshipped in, like, when he was angry. And we got to, you know, the weapons forge, or the munitions forge, where in an active volcano. But, yeah, these are some pretty cool concept arts. Oh, yeah, those guys. Was never a fan of them in either the GBA game or in any version of the game. Oh, Steam. Still a strange idea for a... Wait, what is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be like the boss room for Dante's Freezer? Or... I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Or is that supposed to be for Cinder's Lair? This is probably meant to be for Cinder's Lair. Because I don't recognize the terrain. It looks very... Okay, yeah, this has got to be for Cinder's Lair. And then all the different, you know, Dread Wings and Scurvy Wings. Well, no, those are just the Dread Wings, I think. And then, I will admit, the design of Convexity always looked really cool to me. Seeing, like, all the energy from both sides. The portal in the middle, that's supposed to be, like, the connection between the normal realm and, like, the supposed dark realms. Spyro going into the portal to save Cinder. Cool stuff. I guess he says some cool background details. The big dragon statue in the middle. We get to see an armored Ignitus. We would have seen an armored Ignitus at some point. If so, that's pretty neat. So we get to see all the different, yeah, the Elder Dragons, the Guardians of the 4 elements. And then, of course, the Dark... What I think is supposed to... Oh, no, wait, that's Cinder. We got Pterodor. Ooh, cool. This is Ignite. So this is like during a battle against the Dark Armies, I'm guessing. Was that Cyril? Cool stuff here. And then, yeah, we got the Okay, these are some of the apes we encountered in Eternal Night. So we're getting into some of the Eternal Night enemies now. Yep. Definitely some... Yep, the temple being under attack. Attack the temple! What did you just say? Attack the temple! Those were funny. Yeah, some neat designs here. Yep, the Silver River, which leads to the... Learning that at the end of it lies the ancient grove. Where the tree was at. Still don't know why the Chronicler wanted Spyro to look for the tree. Like, why didn't he mention early on to find me in the Silver Caves? Was it to, like, show Spyro's misguidedness for blindly following instructions and his own visions? I really don't get why they had Spyro, like, why the Chronicler had Spyro do all that. It's what makes the entire Ancient Grove section and, you know, the Felmuth Arena section of this game, story-wise, kind of just pointless filler when you think about it. Oh, they were planning on having more of like a fortress here instead of just a bunch of boxes lined up. That would have been interesting to see. And then, what else we got here? That would have been a neat concept to have in the Ancient Grove, actually. Oh, are those the Grove Mites? Yeah, those are the Grove Mites. Okay. And yeah, some more of the beasts we find in the Ancient Grove. And, of course, the Arboric. Yeah, I think I remember getting roughly this far in with the art gallery. Yep, getting taken to the Felmuth Arena. An entirely filler area with the fact that it's pointless. The only interesting thing we find here is like getting our hands on the map to find the Celestial Caves. And even then, it's like Spyro never even got a good look at the map anyway. And we just end up getting a ride to the Celestial Caves anyway. So it ends up kind of being pointless to do all that exploring just to look for a map. They also had no reason to go after Scab after they got to the map. They had no reason to go after them other than just to get some payback. Yep, and there's the map that they did not get a good view of. Oh yeah, Moliere and his buddy. Or is that supposed to be like the younger moles? Another concept art of the Ravage Rider, okay. They must have really... I will admit, the design of the Ravage Rider and the Executioner look cool, even if gameplay-wise they're just a copy-paste of the Ice King and, you know, the Steam. I mean, at least they looked cooler and had some unique styles that made them stand out compared to the annoyingness of the elemental spirits. And yeah, we get some of the pirate enemies, which, look pretty neat. Oh, yeah, these guys were... Oh, the Blundertails. Still not a fan of those enemies. Oh, you have the Scurvy Wings that the pirates would ride. They were interesting. And, of course, Scab himself. Oh, yeah, the bats. Knowing that one of them got away, like... That's never followed up upon at any point in the final game. Like, we never see the other bat that got away ever again. Obviously, one of them was taken out, along with Scab. But to see one of them get away, it's like, was there no point in going after him at that point? And yep, this part where Spyro falls in the water and gets carried by the turtle to the Celestial Caves. Very nice of him. And the cool look of the Celestial Caves, man. Like, it was a cool area. At the same time, though, it's like, gameplay-wise, it was definitely one of the more annoying areas in the game, just with how, yeah, these elemental spirits. Thank goodness I never have to deal with those ever again. Because while I still remember this game fondly, I don't see myself returning to this game anytime soon. And it's because my need to play this game will be satisfied for a while. And now that I found every Scriber's Quill in the game, and all the other collectibles, so I can see all of this, I kind of have no reason to look at more. I will say the concept of the Chronicler as a character was still pretty cool. Seeing the Chronicler with a face from that perspective, I'm only reminded of how he looked in... I think it was like the DS version of Eternal Night. They used like this face, but it looked condensed in a way that it just looked so stupid. I do still think that the console version is better than the DS version. The DS version, it was alright, but it was lacking in a lot of places, especially the bosses. Like, I felt like the bosses were very disappointing there. Where I do feel like the console version was still better. Maybe that's just still my nostalgia bias getting the best of me. But yeah, that and Eternal Night reusing the same mirror puzzles as, you know, the DS version of A New Beginning, which I still think was the worst out of all the Legend of Spyro games that we played. Then, wait, is this when we get to the Mountain Fortress? Yeah, it is. We go through all that gauntlet. Yeah. And then, what else was there? Was that... I forget what I was talking about. I was talking about my thoughts on all the different games. But I do still kind of feel like the GBA version of Eternal Night was the best version. Like, I know there did kind of get to be a point where I found it easier to just avoid battles in hard mode and stuff in the GBA version of Eternal Night, but at least you have that option to skip battles. Unlike here, where you're required to, like, roughly every area you have to defeat all enemies. Yeah, this also looked really cool, getting to see the top of the mountain. Like, concept-wise, a lot of the stuff here looked really cool. With, oh, yeah, those dog enemies. Wasn't really a fan of them. Neat design for, like, evil dogs. Still wasn't a fan, though. Thankfully, all this is over at this point, so I never have to worry about these guys again. And we got the big ones that can turn themselves invisible. Which is a real shame, since I couldn't really admire their design, and, you know, they still had enough transparency that I could still see where they were. You have the assassin. Fairly simple boss once you know what you're doing. And, of course, the Ape King himself, Gaul. Who, despite being considered the Ape King, is basically just a baboon. Like, I guess you could consider him a category of ape, but he is still basically a baboon, not an actual ape. Well, then again, for a lot of the apes that you encounter, I guess you could also consider them baboons. Yeah. And of course, the cool statue room with the Dark Master. That was also a pretty cool looking room in the game. And then, of course, the dramatic moment where Spyro gets corrupted by the Dark Mountain during the eclipse. Yeah, this image with... These are some of the shots we've seen from the attack on the temple. Oh, and there's little sparks. No one needs to see that. Of course, Cinder getting corrupted by the Dark Armies into becoming the terror of the skies that she was in the first Legend of Spyro game. And was that the Dark Master? Oh yeah, that's supposed to be the, like, Dark Master and him mastering the different elemental breaths. and eventually his fall to the dark side, creating his army of apes, seeking power. Still a cool design of the mountain, man. It's like a lot of neat stuff throughout the events of the game. And yeah, the Fall Center. And then, of course, Dark Spyro. Like, this was our first incarnation of Dark Spyro. And while it was also brought into, like, the Skylanders series, I still feel like this is the most interesting version of Dark Spyro. Just the story significance, knowing that he didn't have a pure enough heart to resist against the evil influences of the mountain. I mean, he had a pure enough heart to get through a majority of the mountain, but it was like at the heart of the eclipse when the Night of Eternal Darkness began, of the celestial eclipse when the eternal Night of Eternal Darkness began. And right being in the heart of the mountain itself, yeah, Spyro was unfortunately unable to resist the dark influences. Which is a shame. At least Cinder was able to get him out of it, and Spyro was able to save his friends within the collapsing mountain. And then the grand reveal of the one shot we get to see of Hunter in the ending. Nonetheless, that seems to be the entire art gallery, so that fully completes Legend of Spyro the Eternal Night. I still can't believe I forgot to show this on the stream, and I had to record an entirely separate video for this, but at least I finally got to see the entire art gallery. Considering the fact that a lot of what we saw was stuff we already saw in the games, I do think it was kind of not worth it for collecting every single Scriber's Quill in the game. Maybe if they made them easier to find instead of in difficult to reach or find hidden spots. Because with how linear this game is and how the game autosaves and not being able to re-explore areas you've already explored until like you're in until you finish the entire game and go into New Game Plus, that kind of doesn't really work in my eyes, to have completion items but also not be able to easily go back to previous parts of the game until you finish the entire game. At least I won't have to worry about that in the final Legend of Spyro game, as you'll see when we get to that next time in the Spyro Marathon. But until then, thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, this is the Gamer of Gamers, and stay excellent, everyone!